A few years ago, I wrote a series of tiny one-page art zines, each made from a single 8.5 by 11-inch sheet of paper, folded into a little 8-page zine. And that's what I'm sharing with you today. First, I'll read my zine, then I'll walk you through how to fold and make one yourself. They're simple once you get the hang of it. And once you have a master copy, you can photograph or photocopy as many as you like. Hand them out to friends, send them as holiday greetings, or create them to be used as mini newsletters. So here goes. She moved to an island. She packed her bags, moved to an island, they say, far away in the middle of the deep blue sea, where she swims with dolphins, basks in the tropical sun, on deserted white sand beaches, under rows of feathery palms. It's her place of sanctuary, this island, her special dream, where the tranquil night covers her with a blanket of stars and rainbows appear over freshly washed skies. Yes, she also hangs the laundry, shops for groceries, and pays the monthly bills. But she lives a life of legends that are hers and hers alone, in her protected island sanctuary, a place she feels at home. Yes, she's gone forever, across the deep blue sea, both physically and mentally, far from the naysayers and killers of dreams. Sometimes you need to get away and create a sanctuary of your own, whether it be in body or soul. So I thought I'd share a little more about the history of zines. A zine is a small self-published booklet, hand-folded and photocopied. The word comes from fanzine, short for fan magazine, originating in the science fiction fan communities of the 1930s. Back then, people craved a way to share ideas outside of mainstream publishing. When copy machines became widely available in the 1970s, zines exploded in popularity, embraced by punk culture and artists. From there, these tiny magazines became a vehicle for poets, artists, activists, and anyone with something to say. Humble by design, just a few folded pages, made by hand, passed from person to person. That's exactly what makes them special. Before making your art zine, make a layout page so you know what goes where, because the pages on the open sheet are out of order before they are folded. So the numbers will tell you where to place your artwork. I've also marked the top of each page as shown so you can position your zine pages correctly. So keep this layout page as a guide to follow when creating your art zines. So we begin with one standard 8.5 by 11-inch sheet of printer paper. Then we do the first fold lengthwise in half. Now for the second fold, in half again. And now for the final fold. And here you have the start of your mini art zine. And now you unfold everything and begin to create your zine. Then onward to constructing your zine. Important to note, when I assemble my zines, I don't glue anything down. Instead, I use double-sided sticky tape for all my little art pieces and wording. This way I can move things around if I change my mind, which I often do, and that's why I use tape instead of glue. I should mention here that I print a colored backdrop on my blank page first before folding. Either that or you can paint your backdrop. Just note that most inkjet printers can't print all the way to the edge, so you usually have a small white border around the page. If you want a full bleed, a print shop can likely do that for you. I also added a small decorative touch. You'll notice a strip of brown in the far left corner. That's a little book binding added, so once the zine is folded, it has a little book binding edge to it. Now, here's a very important step. Take your original taped zine, the one you've worked so hard on, and put it safely in a folder. Before doing this, make a clean copy of it and use that copy for making copies. This way your original is always preserved. If you ever want to make changes, you can retape or rearrange on the original, then make a fresh clean copy. Always protect the original. So first of all, we're going to make a few copies of our copy and fold those up like we did in the beginning. First lengthwise, then in half again, and finally in half again. Then we're going to unfold the zine as it was in the beginning. Now we're going to refold it again on the lengthwise and make a small cut between the two middle pages where those dotted lines are. Cut along those dotted lines about 1/16 of an inch. So once you cut along those dotted lines, you'll be able to unfold your zine like this. It took me a minute to figure this out, but you'll get it. Make an extra copy that you can play with. It's good brain exercise. So here's another view, a side view of that fold. And now one last little fold, which you fold it in on itself. It, like I said, might take you a minute to get it, but just keep working it. You know what page orders they're supposed to be in by then, so that will help you to find your way. And finally, we just fold it up and it's done. And that's it. You've made your first art zine to share your art and messages with the world. So take care, lots of peace and love. And please like and subscribe to support this channel. It really does help. Thank you.